Okay, my name is Andrea Barlow, and I'm a part of the Diamond Group. And I will be discussing how domestic violence, domestic abuse affects the person and also the nation. So, the effects on the person is they have ongoing anxiety from all the yelling, the shouting, depression, emotional distress, loneliness, feeling like they're alone, feeling like no one understands, no one really gets it. There's an increased rate of suicide for domestic abuse victims. They have sleep disturbances. They really can't get any sleep with all the mental abuse, emotional abuse. They start to have physical symptoms like stomach issues and headaches. There are frequent hospital visits for, just the injuries that they sustain from all the violence. They end up having PTSD, which comes from trauma and things like that, and premature mortality. In 2017, there were 8 deaths due to domestic violence homicide in Delaware. Also, 1 in 4 women and 1 in 7 men have experienced severe physical violence from an intimate partner in their lifetime. I got that information from the CDC. The effects it has on children. I wanted to include this because children are victims as well. Even if they've never been physically hit, they are victims. So children have more difficulty in school. They can't concentrate. All they're thinking about is what's going on at home. They're more likely to abuse drugs and alcohol. They act more aggressive towards other people. Um, they suffer from depression as well. Domestic abuse can hinder their physical, emotional, and psychological growth. They don't grow and form and be well rounded adults as they should. They're more likely to engage in criminal activity. They are withdrawn from friends and social activities. They experience shame and guilt and thinking that it's their fault, it's because of them that their parents are fighting. They experience low self esteem. They have extreme levels of helplessness, difficulty maintaining and establishing relationships. 1 in 15 children are exposed to intimate partner violence each year, and 90% of those children are eyewitnesses. So, domestic violence also affects the nation. People think that it's just personal and, oh, it's just their stuff. No, for the nation to address, not even just the nation, we can take it locally to just Delaware to address domestic violence. There has to be, money involved and things like that. And domestic violence, the cycles continue from children to, you know, they grow up to be abusers, and abusers raise children, and the cycle just continues and continues. The healthcare cost for victims is over $12 billion. Mental health, personal injury, things like that. Domestic violence usually spills over into the workplace or the children's schools, and most schools have things in place to help victims as far as honoring PFA orders, things like that. Um, Domestic violence shelters have had to expand to house more victims and their children's, and the resources that are needed to help these victims in recovery to be more independent. It does affect the nation because it's not just personal. There are other people who witness and see, and most people stay silent about it, but there are a lot of people who are now joining the cause, and that's honorable.